What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. And yes, your boy was at the courthouse. We got to talk about it. Like the video as intro plays, because we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You knew it was a...
Tell Kirk and his 3 earrings I said hello.
Get my legs shot to see if she can feel something.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Doing the polyamorous relationship thing, you have 2 girlfriends right now, right? I mean,
I don't know why you all gagging.
Soak it up, honey. Go.
is that the cap or would you add more to it?
No specific cap. It just depends on, who I vibe with and who vibes with me.
I know. Okay, so no cap to it. So as many maybe you'd add. Oh, okay, we're not closing the door to
As many as you can afford, That's how
Okay, y'all. So, yeah, I told you guys that I was going to be somewhere that you would want to know about, and that's where I was. I was at the courthouse today in ATL with Jennifer, with Christian. It was low-key kind of weird, so I'm going to set the whole scene for you. I get there. Now, you guys know that Simone, that's my actual buddy in real life. I knew that Simone was going to be there, and I knew what time she was going to be there, but I also knew that I wanted to be low-key. Now, maybe I wasn't as low-key as I should have been because Simone said I look like a drug dealer. Look, I like a hoodie. I like a t-shirt. I'm not too keen on collared shirts, but I thought I was doing something. She said I was looking like a drug dealer. It might have been the shoes. I don't know. But I didn't really truthfully believe her until this guy, I was walking down the hallway during recess, and this guy kind of looked at me. And I was thinking, oh, damn, Simone might have been right. I might be giving drug dealer. Well, I didn't wear a t-shirt. So anyway, so I'm outside and I'm taking pictures to let you guys know where I'm at. And the first people I see is Jennifer and Christian. And they're like walking right past me in the shot of my photo. And I'm like, there goes, there goes me being incognito. So let me show you what Jennifer was wearing. If you didn't already see the photo, she looked very nice. She's very tall, kind of like model-esque in real life. I don't know exactly what labels this is, but I do know, I looked through the comments. A lot of people felt like her dress was too short for court. She looked okay to me. She wasn't actually at court. I actually thought she looked really nice. He came in with a lot of people. It was like maybe 8 to 10 people who were his friends and family. They all looked really nice. I don't know what this Bergdorf sweater was for. I don't know if he thought it was going to be cool in the courtroom. When I was looking for a photo, I saw he had it on before. So maybe that's like his favorite lucky sweater. Who knows? The point is, that's what they were wearing. They came in holding hands. So I'm still at this point thinking I'm low key. I still wait until everybody's upstairs because my intention is to go and sit in the back of the courtroom. You guys know I've been covering court cases now from probably like 2 years or more, starting with the Kim Zolciak stuff. So I'm there, I'm quiet, I'm dressed in all black like the Omen. And here comes Simone wearing hot pink, ball mane from head to toe. And she comes running up to me. And my cover was blown. No, I'm definitely not married. It's not a wedding ring. I bought this for myself. Nobody buys me anything. So anyway, yeah. So I already knew I was coming. Simone knew she was coming. Yes, we incurred these costs on our own to come here to report. I don't really know how much I can say to this, but I've been in contact with somebody who was allegedly abused by Christian. And in speaking to that person, it makes me feel like I'm doing, or I'm where I'm supposed to be. So I don't really want to say a name or anything like that. But yes, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. I can tell you something else. Everybody's been questioning this money, this money, this money. Imagine being a victim who has gone through what she went through, and you don't even get that last $9,000. If the total amount was $1,250 10 years ago, and 10 years later, you're still waiting $9,000. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and Simone is doing the work she's supposed to be doing. We're right where we're supposed to be. King William Compton, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. And Talk About It says they had to allow that wedding so they can get their money back from that wedding special. Mims, I heard you was a dope boy. Thanks for being a member for 5 months. I guess as of today, I'm a drug dealer. As of today, I'm a drug dealer. But yeah, so who knows? Maybe when she's ready, we, the straight shooters, can talk to her. That would be a lot, but maybe one day soon she'll be willing to interview. And I think that we, especially this community, would be a good place for her to do it because it's a safe space. But yeah, let's get right into it. So now we're in the courtroom. Byron, I think it was Byron Allen. Byron Allen was the dude who was looking at me as I was walking through the hallway. I think he's the one I think he thought I was a drug dealer too. But anyway, so we kind of knew what it was. Simone and I had already kind of talked before all this popped off. And the thought was that there would not be, hold on, this might be, here we go. So I'm trying to be incognito in all black. This is what Simone is wearing. She's running up to me, cover blown. I had been around Jennifer and the family kind of like while they were shooing. I was returning some emails and they were talking. I'm actually seated across from Simone behind the family. So I can kind of hear what's going on. It's a very tense situation. They do not like Simone. But for me, if you've been following my channel, you know I do not like to be the story. I like to cover the story. I like to get in there. I'm a little shady. Well, we know shady but fair. I'm a little messy, but I never really like for the people that I'm talking about to know that I'm talking about them. I am so glad. Me and Simone laugh about this all the time. All the smoke. Is it Byron Allen? Is it Byron? Is not Byron Allen? I think his name is Byron. He's like a reporter. He does YouTube. I don't know. I thought it was Byron. It's Byron something. But yeah, not infiltrating. It was just, who's Simone? Simone is my friend. She's an attorney. She's covering this case, and she's met with some of the victims. Not physical violence victims, but the other victims. The ones from the alleged Ponzi scheme. Dennis Byron, my bad. Dennis Byron. Yeah, he was the one. And that's when I realized, yeah, I probably do look like a drug dealer. So we're sitting in there. It's very tense. They take a long time. The judge is extremely nice. I want to show you guys her picture. Judge is extremely nice, talking to everybody. She's not only talking to the people from the state, she's also talking to all the attorneys. Very, very nice lady, seems extremely lenient. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, Christian has a shot. When they call for Christian, his attorney stands up, and his attorney is like, we were doing a negotiate resolution. Oh, okay, my bad. Not Byron Allen, Dennis Byron. So I'm like, wait. Now, we've already seen all the motions coming through. I hadn't heard of this. So I'm thinking, okay, he has this high-powered attorney. Dude is in a nice suit. Everybody in Christian's row. It's like a church pew, but the whole row, everybody is looking nice. Maybe they've spent the money. Now, they didn't pay the restitution until that day because they had the money orders for that last $9,000. But he seems like he knows what he's doing. He's like, we got this negotiate resolution, but we just have about 10% more to work out. And the judge kind of like tilts her head and she kind of smirks. And she said, 10%? And he said, yeah, just 10%. So he's smiling. I'm looking over at the other attorneys and they are not. So I'm like, okay, what is this? What's going on? So we go through all this. Thank God that this was the first case that she was going to see. Prior to that, they sit Christian right next to me. So it's me and Bergdorf. I still don't know if Christian and them know who I am. I hope that they don't. But I've been covering Christian now for like over a year. Let's see. Before Vanessa actually put his business out on Basketball Wives, Make It Make Sense did. Let's see. Let's see, right here. Jennifer Williams being fiance exposed. Evelyn's a homewrecker for life. That was 10 months ago. Y'all see this? Oh, no, you don't. So I've been covering these topics for a hot minute now. I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But I smelled something fishy a long time ago, and y'all know once I'm in it, I'm in it. So now I'm sitting there next to Christian. And here comes Hot Pink Balmain. Hey, what do you think? What do you think the case is gonna do? I'm like, shit. I'm like, shit. Every time Simone is around, the family members, one of the family members really does not like Simone. I'll say that I believe his mom is maybe in her 50s. She's a very attractive lady. Her hair was like maybe reddish and kind of pressed out. She was sitting next to another dude who was distinguished, another lady who had on, I want to say like a really nice like African style outfit, and another like distinguished guy. They were rolling deep. But then there was one lady sitting, I believe, like next to Jennifer. I don't know who that lady was, but I would expect that maybe that's the aunt that stays on Simone's ass. She looked like she could fight. She might have had a Jerry curl. She wasn't per se dressed like everybody else, but of everyone who was in there when Christian got locked up or got taken into custody, she like yelled out and she was visibly upset. Now, this is me being a human. This is not me. She was visibly upset, and I believe she was the only one to cry. Like, she was shaking. Now, I was thinking it's only 30 days for now, but, you know, she had, I think it was a jerk. It was a nice looking family. We'll just leave it at that. It was a nice looking family. So, okay. So now we have him standing up. When it is actually Christian's turn, he moves. And I cannot tell you, I have never been happier in my life for somebody to be moved away from sitting next to me. She definitely was the muscle, and that's probably why Simone. Y'all, the family lets Simone have it. I don't really know, but it was the aunt who had the most visceral reaction to what happened. So the motion's been granted. They have 10%. So we don't know what motion that they were talking about initially, because I'm thinking, well, the motion's granted. They had negotiated already. They're about to be in and out. He's wearing, the lawyer's wearing a business suit. Sounds about white to me. I don't know. Everything was looking peaches and cream for him. So they start going in. They're like, well, you admitted to leaving the country. You admitted to leaving the state. And that's when I can see that 10%, something wasn't right, because the state is saying very pointed things about Christian and using language that would make you believe that they have not come to an agreement. There were so many people in and out of that courtroom where the judge was like, okay, you can go, you can go, you can go, you can go. When that lady sat down, she meant to give it to Christian. She had all her notes in order. She said that there was a previous hearing 1 year ago for a travel violation, and that, yes, there is acknowledgement from Christian, but she feels as though he is continuously thumping his nose to the law and continues to travel abroad without permission. So now I'm sitting back in my seat like this, like, okay, well, now we got a court case. Now something is about to pop off, because to let his lawyer tell it, they were all good. So I got my notebook out. As soon as I pull my notebook out, the family's looking at me, and I was like, God damn, Simone. God damn it. So, okay. The judge should be notified each and every time he leaves. And they felt like it was flagrant. And they said that it was actually social media that outed him for that. So his defense attorney is saying, well, he has no new criminal defenses. This is charged from 10 years ago. Guys, we got like over 2,500 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button. It was the Atlanta courtroom. Yes, I traveled here for this court case. So he's like, there's nothing new in this case. I really don't see the point in him being, prosecuted for this now. And I really feel like his entire case should be dismissed. So me being a non-attorney is thinking, I could be taking this $300, $400, $500 an hour if this is what you are. This is your defense. This is what you have put together to keep him from going to jail. There has to be more, because we all know now Christian is sitting right there in county.
15 days above and then reinstate. Assuming that probation is paid for the restitution amount, would you like to put in any special condition if
that's him being cuffed? But I put that in there. Shout out to Simone for sending me that. I put that in there because this is how he's defending this man, this high-powered attorney that we later found out had a Gmail account. So he says he wants time to be served. And let's see. And he then starts going in about the wedding being in 1 week. This man says, do you see these people? Do you see these people? He has a strong family presence. And the first thing I thought about was the initial court case where Christian is basically reading Bible verses to the judge. And the judge is like, these things sound great, but you had 15 months to pay any restitution to your victim, and you have not done that. You took one course but you did not take an anger management or a domestic violence course. You took the only course that was required to. You're not doing enough. And that's why they threw the book at this boy. They didn't throw the book at this boy because he was just a young black man trying to make it at Aldo's shoe store. and they were trying to stick it to him, he continuously thumbs his nose at the law. So in this situation, his attorney, his defense is that it was an old case and he has a wedding in a week, which I think pissed off the attorney. That pissed off the state. We continue. He then says he admitted to the probation officer that he had violated his probation by leaving the country and the state. He then says, his fiance is here today. Miss Jennifer Williams, will you stand up? Now, I don't know if the attorney was hoping that the judge watched Basketball Wives, but Jennifer is not Miss Congeniality on there. She's not Most Liked. She's not any of those things. So having your fiance stand up in your probably Chanel outfit while you sit in front of me in your Bergdorf, while you are alleging that you're traveling for work. What work does Christian have in Capri with Jennifer to go shop? We just watched the Carlos King interview. At no point did Christian say, well, yeah, when we go to, I'm sorry, I got to get my cool filter King voice going. This is going to hurt my throat. When Jennifer, when he was doing the Carlos King interview, at no point did we hear him say, and yeah, I was out there for shop. She was out there to shop, but I was out there for work and business. I don't remember. If somebody else remembers him saying that, let me know. But now the attorney is saying or alleging that he was in Paris shopping with Jennifer for work. Let me know if anybody knew that that's what. You're now shopping for work. Okay. He said that he felt like the book had been thrown at him hard, given that he has no new violations, and that a travel pass was requested. Now, the judge at this point had a slight smirk on her face. It was super slight, but she had a smirk on her face and her eyebrows were lifted. So it was kind of like, it's like slight. It was I was like, if I can see through this BS with no, and this legal jargon, I'm absolutely sure the judge can't. It was given very much. So the book was thrown at him. It was a probation. The judge was not having it. And I was living for it. So I'm cocked back like this. Now the bailiff he's like, you can't sit like that. So I'm like, damn, now he's bringing attention to me. The family's looking at me again. Okay. So the guy actually says he is here now begging for forgiveness, and went on to say that the real problem was the probation officers for their lack of communication. So you're standing before a judge. You have not done what you were supposed to do. Last year, you had the same violation where you got, I guess, a slap on the wrist. This year, you've done it multiple times, and the expectation is that you can now blame the probation officer. At the end of the day, the probation officer only has to do their job. If they're not communicating with you, then where are any of the emails that you sent to their manager to say, hey, I've been asking for this, I've not gotten a response? You're blaming the law now. Okay. Just like it was the law's fault of all the physical abuse that happened in that household. I felt like that was a misstep, and I'll have to ask Simone about that a little bit later. Like, was that a misstep to blame the probation officers? I put a side note, I could have represented Christian for half the cost. Let's see. The state comes out and says, I have a few things to say. They made these formal requests for travel after, meaning you're saying that you're making these formal requests to travel after you've already been caught for traveling when you weren't supposed to, out of the state and out of the country. The lady who was for the state was wearing Christian's ass out. Let's see. So the defense attorney says his case needs to be terminated. Wedding is next week. Flight is on the 9th. Wedding is on the 13th through the 15th. Honeymoon on the 20th. State comes up and says that the attorney is lying. Because the attorney had said that Christian had only been arrested one time. So the attorney is like, nope, that's a lie. He's been arrested more than that. But I don't know. Sorry, I saw something that kind of threw me off. Oh, okay, she said, I don't know that this is pertinent to this case, but that's a lie. So I'm like, shit. Earlier, we just heard that y'all was 10% away from a deal. Now, all of a sudden, you're calling them out for lying, and they're blaming the probation officers. The state comes back and says, and he did not make a request. Let's see. He needs to take his obligations to the court more seriously. And she said he lied on the probation officer. You did not admit to the probation officer that you had violated. You initially lied. And once they confronted you with evidence, then you finally admitted that you have been violating your probation. She said he has no accountability. And she put a little bass in her voice when she said that. Then that's when he goes back to say, the defense says, well, no, he was only traveling for business purposes. I do feel like they could have gone back and forth and argued that point more, but I don't think it would have amounted to anything. I put an asterisk. At this point, I'm quietly chuckling in the back of the court because now I know that the man was lying about them being 10% away from a deal. Let's see. So this was avoidable. Just pay the restitutions, which seems like a small amount compared to what he said he's worth, and adhere to his probation. Why do people make things harder? Technically, I think what he could have done was paid that restitution way sooner than 10 years and then gone back to the court to see if he could get our probation. So he got money for all that, but he couldn't pay restitution. I do not believe that this man has any of the money that he says that he has. And that's just my opinion. I do not believe this man has any of the money that he alleges. I think that he spent quite a bit of money to get Jennifer that watch. And think of it this way. I give Jennifer a hard time a lot of the time, but it's for a reason. If you have consistently been with men who would throw drinks on you, Eric allegedly had a baby right before they got married, but she didn't care, allegedly, because he had the money. You're allegedly based on what Tammy said, you're Michael Jordan's mistress. You move on to Hips, who is stalking you. We don't really know what he bought her or why he needed the money to take his nephew's life. But each time there is some type of scam type situation with the people you date. Even the guy with the Range Rover, who the courts didn't make him give you back the Range Rover. It's something there, Jennifer, and you are the only person who does not see it. So that's why I give her a hard time as it relates to these things, because you've done this. It's a consistent pattern. And Christian, in my opinion, is no different than any of the rest. Let's see. So we're going over all these dates. There is an extremely long pause by the judge. She comes back and she says, you are going to be taken into custody today. That's when we hear the gasp. Now, Simone seems to think if it had been a different judge, they would have just taken him into custody for the full 30 days. But the judge took into account the fact that he's going to get married, the fact that he's already paid for, or his family has already paid for whatever they paid for in the wedding. They took all of that into account and said, you're going to go to jail now. So from the 6th to the 8th, you're going to be in jail. Meaning as soon as he gets out of jail, he's going to have to fly straight to Paris. And then, let's see, 6th to the 8th. Then they came back and was like, well, no, there's some cross dates with the honeymoon. So 9/24 to 10/6, he'll be back in jail. I'm sitting there thinking in terms of like the human aspect. It would suck for all your family members if you weren't able to attend your wedding. But as somebody who has heard these victims talk, I honestly don't give a damn about his wedding. And I honestly feel like he is really effective at talking his way out of shit. The fact that the judge even allowed him to attend his honeymoon, I felt was too generous. I could see her saying, go ahead and get married. But the fact that you are getting to go on your honeymoon, and there are all these victims out there, including the victim who you had $9,000 in money order to pay. Let's go back. If you watch Basketball Wives, you'll remember that Jennifer was just saying on this last episode that, well, every month, every first of the month, restitution. Where? I talked to the victim. She did not know if and when she would ever get the last $9,000. So where is the restitution going? This is why I feel like Jennifer personally is aware. I don't think that she's involved in any of the alleged scams, but I do think that she has to be aware. You are purposefully obtuse when it comes to what this man is doing to these other people. Purposefully obtuse. There's no way. You don't even have to be an educated person. You don't have to be a street smart person. 1 + 2 is going to equal 3. If everybody is saying this about this person, why would you get on Basketball Wives and say, every month is, every first of the month it has this restitution? What restitution? His baby mama has come out and said he's not even paying child support. You're not paying your child support. Jennifer has only met the children one time. You had to come up with $9,000 to pay off your restitution, which at this point, there's no way that Jennifer does not know that this money was only $12,500 and not the $250,000 that they both purported on Basketball Wives. So Jennifer, even if you watch the Carlos King interview, when Jennifer is talking, well, she doesn't talk about the kids until Carlos mentions them. Christian has 2 very, very small children, and the baby mom is saying no diapers, no child support, no milk. Your new fiance has seen them once. At what point do you say, I want my kids in my life and my new wife's life, so we are going to come and we're going to pick them up? I'm pretty sure one piece of jewelry could provide those children a whole wardrobe for the summer, winter, and, through first grade. But you're in Bergdorf and Jennifer is in whatever designer she's in. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with how you dress for court. Apparently, I'm a drug dealer. But I don't have children who don't have diapers. And I don't have a child's mother who had to allegedly go and live with one of my relatives. That's what she's saying. The child's mother of the two youngest children, who are still very, very, very young, is saying that I had to go and live with one of Christian's relatives because I was homeless. It got me to thinking. Now, if you've been a straight shooter for a while, you kind of know how I think. If you were homeless and Christian is supposed to be living in Atlanta, but he's off everywhere traveling, why wouldn't Christian allow you and his children to stay in his home if he has already moved with Jennifer or isn't technically really in Atlanta all that often? Are y'all hearing that? She's homeless and living with a relative. If he actually has a domicile in Atlanta, why wouldn't she be able to stay there with his kids? Lamar, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Just a thought. Now, Jennifer also said on that episode something that really, really, really pissed me off. Like, it really pissed me off. If you already know what I told you about what happened the night that the lady was, I don't know the correct wording, but when she went out of the 4-story window, and I said, people that feel safe in their home do not jump out of a window. Jennifer got on national television and said it would have been better for Christian if he let her drink and drive than what he has to go through today for this. That was the most ignorant, hurt. That was more ignorant than I don't know what a food stamp looked like. I went to school in a Porsche. That was more hurtful than anything else. Because you have an alleged victim of abuse. People know who this woman is. Friends, family, reality shows reach is ridiculous for what it is. For you to say that and minimize what another woman allegedly went through, all to support a man that you did not know at that point. Because 10 years ago, you would have been 40 and he would have been 20. Now, I don't know how young she dates him, but it was disgusting. It was unnecessary. And I really am starting to feel like they deserve each other. I feel like she is very much aware of everything involving Christian. And it's just that simple. I did not see any tears. I do know that I had to walk Simone out. Simone didn't know what that lady with the Jerry curl was going to do. You can't miss her in hot pink Balmain. Not Jennifer has an evil spirit. Looking like Whitney and Bobby, a hot mess. But Whitney did say that was her king and she wasn't going nowhere. She was right there. Every time he went to prison, they were holding hands. I do feel like they have a real relationship. Somebody asked me that earlier. I do feel like, I saved your life. I do feel as though they have a real relationship. If it were not for all of the publicity surrounding everything recently, do you guys realize that there would not have been a wedding? They can hate Simone, they can hate the victims, they can hate all these people. I don't think they hate me because I don't think they know me. Like, I don't think I'm blocked yet. Somehow or another, I'm still just right under the radar, and that's just where I want to be. But you can hate all these people, but at the end of the day, if that warrant stuff had not broke, you would have gotten to the airport and been detained by customs because you had an active warrant for your arrest. If it weren't for Simone and the victims coming forward, you would not have had a wedding. So how do you explain that? How do you explain that to the wedding special? How do you explain that to your family members who aren't wealthy, who still bought a ticket to go and see you and Jennifer get married? Hold on one second. Now, y'all, I then came across the world to come and give y'all this mess. And we got almost 4,000 in the chat, but only 1,000 likes. Definitely hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. This trip was taken at my own personal expense. It's a story that I will be following. I was telling Simone that another court case that I was supposed to go to that I was advised not to go to was Diddy's drug mule. When he was having his hearings, I already had my stuff. My trip was booked. And I was told it was not smart nor safe for me to attend that one. So you'll see me at more court cases. I'll just let you guys know the day of that I'm out here. But yes, this was at my own expense. So definitely hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. We have a good time over here. And I would have been able to maintain my incognito if it weren't for you. She was like, I thought something was up because you were being so cold. I was like, no, I just wanted to be able to be in earshot. Maybe they wanted to call the judge something. Maybe they wanted to call you something. But either way it goes, thank you guys for being here. We might do an open panel on this sometime soon. I got a couple more things up my sleeve, but I appreciate you guys for being here. Christian, and again, Christian has been detained.
15 days. 15 days above and then reinstate.
Assuming that probation is paid for the restitution amount, would you like to put in any special condition if, for whatever reason, the restitution does not actually get paid for some reason? Like that he's to come back within 30 days to confirm that restitution is paid?
Yeah. What I said this, I'll get a date from my clerk, but if restitution is not paid, please alert the court and we'll put it back on the calendar.
Yes, Judge.
All right, anything else regarding Mr. Wilson?
No, Judge, I'll speak to probation. I have money where support.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you got it. All right, next is.
Thank you for thank you for the super chat. Bullheaded said, "Stop lying. You're already in Atlanta for Pride." I arrived in Atlanta for this trip last night at 9 on Spirit Airlines. Thank you for the super chat. Anyway, guys, yeah, like I said, I will be back probably tomorrow, and maybe then we'll do our open panel. I gotta go. Maybe Simone and me are gonna go get a drink. Anyway, have a good night, or it's not night. Have a good afternoon. Bye, y'all.